Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Nahid. I'm back with another video and a bunch of answers to a recurring question. But what question? The question is, if I want to be a developer, what tools do I need? What a question! If you have a lot of answers to these questions, like me, in your mind, and you have to sort and categorize them, join me in this video to review a list of useful and necessary tools for every developer at any level. Before starting, another question may come to your mind, and that is, why should we use software development tools? Well, in response to this question, I should say the use of robust software development tools are many. It depends on what skill level you are a software developer. As electronic widgets and AI-based vehicles are increasingly used, so embedded software development tools are also important. Software development tools are computer programs that are used by developers to code, assess, manage, and support other applications or programs. They are programs that developers use to create other softwares. They are tools especially designed to help teams facilitate, automate, simplify, and speed up software creation processes. Okay, now there are different reasons why we should use software development tools. The first one is efficiency and productivity. Working effectively to get the desired outcome is essential. Development tools save time and effort. They generate code, debug assistance, version control, and project management. The second one is code quality. It's essential to check the quality of the code to run it smoother. These tools provide code analysis and review capabilities. It helps to identify and rectify potential issues early in development. The third one is documentation. Development tools often come with features that assist in generating documentation for the codebase. If the documentation is proper, then it enhances the maintainability of the software. And the last reason is performance optimization. Performance profiling and monitoring tools help identify bottlenecks and performance issues in the software. The developers can easily optimize their code for better efficiency. As a software developer, you are responsible for creating reliable applications. This involves not only coding, but also complex and time-consuming tasks like debugging errors, managing servers, and so on. Luckily, web development tools can simplify the entire process while maintaining high quality. These tools often can equip with automation and security features that can improve the performance of your applications. Although choosing the most suitable one can be a little bit daunting, but in this video, I will guide you through the whole process of selecting the best development tools. Now that we have answered some important questions about software development tools, like what are software development tools and why should we use them, it's time to deep into the list of these tools. So let's prepare the list of them step by step. As a first tool, I want to talk about a code editor or IDE. We need a proper IDE to start programming inside an environment. An IDE is a software application that provides a comprehensive development environment for coding, debugging, and testing. There are some popular IDEs like Visual Studio Code, JetBrains Family IDEs, Eclipse, and etc. It depends on a developer to choose which of them. I should also mention that some of them are free and some others require a subscription fee. You can check different features in different IDE and finally select one of them. I will introduce two IDEs. One of them is free and another one needs to pay subscription fee. The first one is PHP Storm. It belongs to JetBrains family and needs to pay. For this purpose, I start the official website for PHP Storm, download it by clicking on download button in here, and again download, and as you can see in this one it's downloading. After completing the download process, I will install it like any other software, and then you will see this page in installed PHP Storm. It means that it needs to activate a new license by paying the subscription fee, enter it, and then start to use it. In this window, there are different sections. From the top, you have two options to start using PHP Storm. The first one is Active PHP Storm. And for this one, I will mention something soon. But for the second one, Start Trial. As you can see here, you can active trial period to test the features of PHP Storm, work with it and experience bunch of facilities without any payment for 1 month. Just click Start Trial and use the IDE, as you can see here. But as another option that I mentioned before, there is Activate PHP Storm here. And at the bottom, you can see 3 different ways to get license. The first one is JetBrains account, activation code, and license server. I will go through JetBrains account to active a license. And for 2 other options, activation code and license server, you may have an activation code that you can put it here inside this box and click on Activate button. And for another one, license server, you may know a server address to active PHP Storm by using it. So you can put it here, the server address, and again click on Activate button. And finally, it will be ready to use. In our case, we will active PHP Storm by using JetBrains account. For this purpose, click on Buy License at the top right corner. And in this page, you can check different plans for individual use. After finding the best plan for yourself, you need to click on Buy, and then you will be redirected to the new page for identification. In this page, you have 2 different options. You can create a new account or enter the existed one and continue to buy your license. And instead of both of them, I can enter my email address here, click on Next button, enter my password, and at the end, I will see the order. After completing this form and enter my bank details, if I click on this button, Order and Pay, it will be completed and I will have a new license ID in my email address. As you can see here, in my account, I will see something like this. There is license ID and also another necessary information. If I come back here and click on Refresh License List, I will see the new license that is something like this. As you can see here, I can check more information and details here, and the date for expiration. After click on Activate button, I will start to use PHP Store and I can start to code. Now it's time to have a quick look on a free IDE to start programming. For this purpose, I will install Visual Studio Code. Just search for Visual Studio Code, click on this link, and you will be redirected to the official website for Visual Studio Code. Click on Download button, and again you will be redirected to this page. Based on your OS, click on the Download button and get the installation file. For example, if you have Windows on your machine, click on Windows button, and as you can see, it will be started to download. And after finishing the whole process, you can start to install on your machine. But for me, it's Linux, and I prefer to install Visual Studio Code by using this. I write Visual Studio Code, find it, and press Install button. After completing the installation process, I can open it and start to code with it. It's free and so easy to install. Now it depends on you to choose which IDE type, free or paid. The next software development tool that is necessary for all developers is version control. In software engineering, version control or source code management, like Git, is a class of systems responsible for managing changes to computer programs, documents, or other collections of information. What does it mean? It's a tool that enables developers to track changes to their code, collaborate with others, and easily roll back to previous versions if needed. Different Git platforms like GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket, and etc. are widely used in the development community for managing code repositories and facilitating efficient teamwork. In fact, by choosing Git for managing your codes, you will have a repository to maintain your code safely somewhere other than your laptop or desktop, and it doesn't need to have any concern about loss of your works because of any reason. On the other hand, you can do pair programming and teamwork easily by connecting to a common repository. Although in this video I don't want to talk about Git deeply, but I will explain 2 steps to start work with Git. The first step is choosing one of the Git platforms that I've chosen GitHub. For this purpose, just type GitHub and then click on this link, and then you will be redirected to the official website for GitHub and start to sign up to have your own account by clicking on Sign Up button. Just like any other website, GitHub also needs to pass some steps to create a new account, and it doesn't need to do any other extra things. Or if you have an account before, easily you can sign in with your username and password to go to your account. Now, if you need to know more about it or learn how to use it, you can read GitHub documentation that I've put its link in the description of this video, because if you are new in GitHub, the documentation will help you to be familiar with Git concepts. And as the second step, it's installing Git Bash on your machine. It's a terminal that allows you to use different Git commands, check current branch to work, and so on. For this purpose, type Git Bash in your browser, and after that, click on related link. As you can see, you will be redirected to the new page. In this page, you can choose your desired installation file based on OS on your machine. After completing the whole process, downloading and installing this, you can see something like this, and it's a unified terminal. Although you can use all of the commands inside a normal command prompt or terminal, but Git Bash offers you a unified development. It's up to you and completely optional. So now you can write your code, push them to Git repository to keep them, and keep going strong. Okay, now it's time to go one step further. The third tool that is necessary for each developer and is one of the most important part of each project is database. It's a concept that has a bunch of different types and use cases, and each developer should decide to choose the most proper database according to his or her project. Although there are different types of database like relational, NoSQL, hierarchical, operational, and so on, but finally, after analyzing your project and its requirements, it's you who decides to choose a database for your project. As you may know, database is an organized collection of data stored and managed from a computer system. This system is used to hold large sets of data in a structured manner and make them easily accessible to authorized users. Databases allow users to keep an archive of past and present data records for specific systems. These records are used across a variety of industries, like bank tracking customers' balance, retail stores, and so on. You can also use your database for different purposes, like preparing reports, adding new features to your application, and extending data monitoring process. So, by choosing the most proper database at the first step of your project and implementing the proper structure in it, you will be more flexible against possible future changes. As a last point for database, let's review some different databases that you can select. One of the most popular database that is a relational database is MySQL. MySQL is an open source database and uses SQL, SQL, or structured query language to access data. This database supports different popular development languages like PHP, Python, Java, Ruby, C++, and etc. To add and use it, you need to have a look on MySQL documentation that I've put its address inside the description of this video. As another database that is so popular, I want to mention Redis. Redis also is an open source and in-memory data structure store that is used as a database, cache, and message broker. Redis is a NoSQL database and you can run atomic operations on this type of database. As I mentioned, to achieve top performance, Redis works with an in-memory database structure. Depending on your use case, Redis can persist your data either by periodically dumping the database to disk or by appending each command to a disk-based log. Redis also supports asynchronous replications. If you like to know more about Redis, I've put also Redis documentation inside the description of this video. Okay, as another tool, I want to talk about task management tool. As an official definition, a task management tool is a software that helps teams or even a developer centralize planning and organize tasks. It provides team members with a centralized platform to track progress and manage tasks. A task management tool is an essential part of any project management strategy to ensure that projects are completed on time and within budget. Now that we know about the generalities of this tool, we will have a look on some of key features of this tool. For the first one, task management tool allows a developer or a team to create project plans and timelines, helping to define the scope of the project and identify the tasks and resources needed to complete it. The second feature of this tool is that helps developers track the progress of their projects and identify potential issues in real time. By providing regular updates and reports, developers stay informed about the status of their projects and take action to keep them on track. The third feature and the final one for task management tool is that it provides a central location for storing and accessing all project-related documents, allowing developers to share and access critical project information easily. Okay, now that we know more about the advantages or key features of a task management tool, let's jump to a practical example. One of the most powerful and popular tools is Jira. As you can see in the official demo for Jira, developers can improve task or totally project management to ensure success. The one purpose of Jira is using agile methodology that enables developers to dynamically plan, track and manage their workflows and projects. So, for being familiar more with Jira, let's open the official website for Jira. As you can see here, Jira is developed by Atlassian, and you can choose one of its plans by using pricing menu and then go through the next steps. For example, I want to choose free plan to get it and check it. So I click on Get It Now. Enter my website name or email address and then click on Agree and Start Now. And now we have been redirected to a new page. And as you can see here, it may take a little bit. After that, we will be redirected to a new page for welcome and something like that. You can skip all of them. And after that, as you can see, we will have a new board for our project. Can improve it, customize or something like this, but it's ready now to use and manage your projects. As I mentioned before, you can choose each of Jira plans and based on its price, you will get different features. That is up to you. Okay, for now I want to define another necessary tool that helps developers to communicate to each other, share codes and all required things, talk together, chat and call. In each project, team members need to access to each other to talk about tasks, bugs, solutions, and etc. So they should definitely have a platform to communicate. As a powerful communication tool, I want to offer Slack. Slack is an easy option for developers and teams to professionally communicate from any part of the world. It has some amazing features like organizing your conversations by using dedicated channels. You can also select the important conversations and vice versa for better focus on important work. It has different dedicated spaces for topics, projects, or teams, which makes communication easier and efficient. People with similar interests or projects can even communicate with people from other companies, so it brings companies together. Okay, now for more information, we can search for Slack in our browser, click on this link, and we will be redirected to this page. It's the official website for Slack and has different menu like pricing. If you click on this link, you will be redirected to another page. Before starting to talk about this page, I should mention Slack has a free package with minimum features. That's okay for starting your communications, but if you need more features because of specific reasons, you can buy one of the different packages like Pro, Business, Enterprise Grid, and etc. It depends on your decision. You can check them in pricing menu with more details. Okay, and also there is another menu named Features. You can check all features, analyze them, and decide more precisely. But after all these discussions, you can install Slack on your machine based on your OS. For example, for Linux, you can go to the software library, open it, search for Slack, and then install it. There is the same process for other OS like Windows or Mac. After installing it, creating new workspaces and completing every steps, you will see an environment like this, and that's it. You have it on your machine, and like any other media, you can send and receive texts, share files, codes, images, and etc. And a lot of work to do that I offer you test them. Now it's time to check the most important tools number 6. For this purpose, I like to mention the necessity of this tool, and after that I will show you an example of it. This one is documentation tool. As an introduction, I should say it's a tool where you can keep documents in one place. But what does it mean? Software documentation guides new developers on all important aspects of your project, like how it was developed or the stages it went through, and even stakeholders involved in the process. This helps them gain a grip on your existing processes quickly. Using a software documentation tool can sometimes feel like finding your way in a foreign country. If you are worried about your software being abandoned by users and a subsequent fall in the subscriptions, I have a simple solution for you: a software documentation tool. By deploying the right software documentation tool, you can equip users with a straightforward step-by-step instructions and other training materials to help them make optimal use of your product. The documentation comprises instructions demonstrated using written texts, flowcharts, diagrams, and videos. It also provides troubleshooting tips to help users solve problems on their own and put your software product to maximum use. Although there are so many benefits of software documentation tool, but I want to mention only some of them now. The first and the most important of this tool is facilitating onboarding of new developers. It means that by using your software documentation, you can onboard new developers to the team by providing them easy access to all the training materials and technical information they need. The next benefit is reducing support tickets. It's about your software documentation designed for customers that can bring down your support tickets. By using this, support team can prevent customers from raising tickets for minor issues. And the third benefit of software documentation is minimizing errors. When humans are involved in a process, errors are bound to occur. The good news is that software documentation can help you minimize the occurrence of errors and ensuring that the final output is flawless. When every team member has access to the same information, they will be following the exact same steps given in the documentation. Now that we have a general view of software documentation, it's time to give an example of two types of it. As I mentioned before, we can provide a documentation for customers, and for this purpose, I like to introduce Confluence. In the official website for it, you can start it free by clicking on Get It Free button. And after that, enter your email and website address here. And then click on Continue button. You will be redirected to the new page, and it will take a while. But after completing this process, you will be redirected to the new page. And that's it. You can skip all of these steps by clicking on Skip button. And okay, you will have Confluence dashboard for yourself. So that's enough. Click on Create button, and now you have a clean page. You can create every necessary things here so easily. On the other hand, you may want to create documentations for other developers. For this purpose, I want to suggest you OpenAPI or Swagger documentation. It has a structure like this, and it's so powerful to support code with any details that are required for developers. This tool has its own instruction, and after reviewing its official document, you can work with it easily. It will be added inside your code, and you can check the final documentation immediately after each change. If you like to know more about it, I've put the documentation inside the description of this video. As a next development tool, I want to talk about Stack Overflow. What is it? It's a community-based space to find and contribute answers to technical challenges and one of the most popular websites in the world. In fact, Stack Overflow is a public platform that builds the definitive collection of coding questions and answers. I can say we don't have questions that are unanswered more than a couple of minutes. The user adoption and engagement with the platform has been very impressive. In this platform, software engineers help solve the hardest questions and the unknowns. But the main point here is that if you search your problem or question in your browser, you can easily find different links about your question. That among them, you will definitely find Stack Overflow link, and if open it, you will find different answers for your question. In Stack Overflow, there are countless developers that have experienced the same issue as yours and shared his or her solutions and findings, and you can test each of them and solve your problem. As an example, I will search for a sample question. Like this, MySQL users table failed. As you can see here, there are different links for your question, and also you will see Stack Overflow link between them. I click on this link, and inside it, you can see the title of the question and a little bit description. After that, you will find different answers. And now you can check and read each of them. Also, after testing some of these solutions in your project, most likely you can solve your problem. Also, you can sign up in Stack Overflow, make a question if you have, and then wait for the answers from other developers that will help you to solve your problem. So please don't forget to check Stack Overflow when you have a coding question or problem. As another software development tool, I like to define a browser dev tool. For this purpose, I've chosen Chrome DevTools. Chrome DevTools is a set of web developer tools built directly into the Google Chrome browser. DevTools can help you edit pages on the fly and diagnose problems quickly, which helps you build better websites. As an example, I will open a website like Amazon and check DevTools in it. So right-click on anywhere on the page, a menu will open for you, click on Inspect, and it will open a new window that actually contains DevTools. As you can see here, there are different panels like Elements, Sources, Network, and so on. As an example, in Elements tab, you can find all sections and elements of this website. And by clicking on this arrow, you will access to each scope and related codes. And as another panel, if click on Network tab, refresh the page, you will see different requests in this page, and you can check more details by clicking on each request. As a developer, for different purposes, you need to check more details about requests and responses, elements on your page, memory issues, or something like that. So, you need to be familiar with each panel in DevTools space and learn how to work with them. For this purpose, I've put useful link contains the whole details and information about Chrome DevTools to check them in the description of this video. Okay, the next software development tool is API Platform. An API platform is a digital backbone that offers a unified set of capabilities for developing and managing APIs to support an API strategy. API platform allows developers to manage the full API lifecycle across the entire API landscape securely. In fact, this API platform helps simplify the management of APIs by providing a single place to manage APIs and related microservices as applications. By using this platform, you can design and create APIs, operate with a common managed catalog of services, enforce policy and security, and a lot of different benefits that you will earn. Now you know some more details about API platform and its benefits. It's time to introduce one of the most popular API platforms. It's Postman, and I like to have a quick look on it. As I mentioned, Postman is an API platform for building and using APIs. Postman simplifies each set of the lifecycle and streamlines collaboration so you can create better APIs. It also stores and collaborates around all your API artifacts on the central platform. Postman can store and manage API specifications, documentation, workflow recipes, test cases, and everything else related to APIs. So, it integrates with the most important tools in your software development pipeline to enable API-first practices. Now, for starting to work with Postman, search for Postman, open the first link, and then in this page, as you can see, there are different links for getting installation file based on your OS. And beside this one, there is another way. You can sign in or sign up by using these keys. For example, you can sign up. It's free. You can use your email address and another information, or use your Google account to sign up. Okay, After finishing the whole process, you will be redirected to the Postman environment. And that's it. As you can see here in the left side, there are different menus like workspaces. If click on this one, you will be redirected to your workspace. And for example, you can select one of them. And in this new page, you will access to bunch of easily features of it. You can create collections and requests. So this is you and this Postman environment. Enjoy it. The next useful software development tool that is almost necessary for all programmers and developers is a cloud service provider. A cloud service provider is an IT company that provides on-demand, scalable computing resources like computing power, data storage, or applications over the internet. As an official definition of cloud provider, I should say a cloud service provider is a third-party company that provides scalable computing resources that business can access on demand over a network. There are different examples of this tool, and it includes cloud providers of all shapes and sizes. The big three providers are Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and Amazon Web Services or AWS that are considered the established leaders, although there are a host of other smaller players that offer cloud services. Increasingly, companies are choosing to mix and match cloud services from different requirements rather than choosing one provider for everything. In most cases, choosing to work with multiple cloud providers helps businesses select the best cloud capabilities for their unique use cases. For instance, different providers may specialize in certain areas like data analytics and AI services, or offer better support for legacy environments or broader compute options. As an endpoint here, I should say that cloud service providers give their customers the freedom to combine the services and providers that best fit their needs, allowing them to move workloads to and from on-premises and between cloud providers at any time. Now for this purpose, I want to show you one of the leaders in this field. As you may guess, it's Amazon Web Service or AWS. You can easily open the official website for Amazon Web Service in aws.amazon.com, and you will see the page like this. Go through Products menu and check different featured services. You may need specific service for your project, so you should check more details about each of them, and then you can decide to choose the provider. After finding your desired service, you can go to Documentation, click on View All Documentation, and then choose Required Content. I will send the link of this documentation in the description of this video, and you can check it more. So that's it. Okay, one of the most important software development tool is web server. A web server is a software and hardware that uses HTTP and other protocols to respond to client requests made over the World Wide Web. The main job of a web server is to display website content through storing, processing, and delivering web pages to users. Web servers are used in web hosting or the hosting of data for websites and web-based applications. Also, web server hardware is connected to the internet and allows data to be exchanged with other connected devices, while web server software controls how a user accesses hosted files. The web server process is an example of the client-server model. All computers that host websites must have web server software. If I want to mention different examples of web server uses, I should say that web servers often come as part of a larger package of internet and intranet related programs that are used for sending and receiving emails, downloading requests for FTP files, or building and publishing web pages. Now it's time to check common and top web server software on the market. There are a number of common web servers available, some including Apache HTTP Server, Microsoft Internet Information Services or IIS, Nginx, and so on. For example, if we select one of them like Apache, search for it in our browser, we will find the link to the official website of Apache, and as you can see here, we will find the full documentation for it. But on the other hand, you can choose the easier way and install a software named XAMPP that contains different web servers on your machine. After searching for it and click on the first link, you will find different installation files based on your OS. Install it, and you will have different web servers on your machine. So now you know that it's necessary to have a web server to handle your requests and responses. As another necessary tool for all developers, I should mention a proper screen recording software and also a tool for editing photo. In order to understand the importance of having these softwares on your system, it's better to give one or two examples. In the first scenario, suppose you have prepared a project as a developer and after working on it for months, now you have to present it to your employer, team lead, or someone else. Well, in this situation, you probably need a suitable software to record the screen of your laptop or desktop. In this way, show the different features of the project and its facilities and how to work with it. And the second scenario, you may want to talk about a bug in the project. For example, a problem has been solved or a new feature has been added to the project. In all these cases, it's enough to use strong software for recording and displaying all necessary items inside it. For this purpose, you can search for a screen record software, but I will recommend you one of the most useful and powerful software, and that is Shotcut. Search for it in your browser, click on the first link, and as you can see here, you need only download it by clicking on download link, install it, and then you can work with it easily. After completing the whole process for installing this, you will see something like this. It's Shotcut environment and there are different options and menus here. So work with them and enjoy it. Also, maybe you need a software for editing photo for similar reasons. you can take a screenshot, display something in it, and edit it as you wish. So let's say a useful software for this purpose, and it's Krita. Open your browser again, search for Krita, and click on the first link. As you may guess, you can download it easily based on your OS machine, and like the previous software for recording a screen, start to work with it. So after completing the whole process for installing Krita on your machine, open it and you will see something like this. It's Krita environment to edit and prepare your screenshots or any other photos. So that's it. Okay, in addition to the tool we reviewed together, I felt that another tool was missing. That is CodePen. CodePen is a social development environment for front-end designers and developers. By using this tool, you can build and deploy a website, show off your work, build test cases to learn and debug, and find inspiration. So let's jump to CodePen and check it more in practice. For this purpose, search for CodePen in your browser, click on the first link, and you will be redirected to its website. As you can see here, you can sign up or log in this website, but it's not necessary to use it. So in this step, let's go to test it. For this purpose, click on Start Coding button, and now you have an environment to code for front-end designs. Let's check it a little bit more. In this page, we have different parts and each of them has a specific title for itself. From left to right, you see the HTML section for HTML codes, then CSS part, and finally JS for JavaScript codes. Also, at the bottom of this page, there is a horizontal landscape part that will show you the output and result of your codes and scripts. So it's time to test it to find that how does it work. For this purpose, I prefer to use a sample code, copy and paste it here. I mean for different part HTML and CSS. For example, this code is so easy and we can test CodePen for it. So copy the HTML part for the first and then paste it inside the HTML part. After that, copy the CSS part and paste it inside the CSS part in CodePen. And now you can see the output of this code. As you can see here, we can change something in HTML or CSS and see the result. For example, if change this text from heading to header, for example, you can see the result. And also you can change something in CSS part. For example, instead of yellow color, you can enter, for example, white color. And after that, again, you can see the result of this change. And also, you can have a JavaScript codes and check the result of this code. You can test CodePen for all these different types of codes. Okay, I offer you to test it and enjoy it. Now that we have reviewed the various tools needed for a developer and prepared a list of them, it's good to note that depending on the level of a developer or the special needs he or she has for each project, the tools may be different. Although we checked a list of basic tools for a developer in this video, it's better to mention a few other tools so that if it happens to you and you need them, you can check each of them. First of all, I felt it necessary to mention Docker, which is definitely used for developing, shipping, and running applications. Docker enables you to separate your applications from your infrastructure so you can deliver software quickly. Docker provides the ability to package and run an application in a loosely isolated environment called a container. But of course, I don't want to go deep into Docker. After the first tool, it's better to mention another tool named Kubernetes that has long-standing fans. Kubernetes is an open source and portable platform for managing containerized workloads and services that facilitate both configuration and automation. And as a quick overview of why we need Kubernetes and what it can do, I should say containers are a good way to bundle and run your applications. In a production environment, you need to manage the containers and ensure that there is no downtime. Okay, after that, and now, it might not be bad to mention another tool named SQL Sentry or SQL Sentry. SQL Sentry is database performance monitoring for the data platform. It helps you to manage scheduled events and identify resource contention. It allows you to find and fix high-impact queries. Also, it has storage forecasting powered by predictive analytics. As you are interested in this topic, you can search for it and check more details and documentation for it. Finally, I would like to mention another tool named Red Hat Code-Ready Workspaces. Although I know that this tool is more useful for a developer in the field of DevOps, but experience has proven that a skilled developer should have a hand of fire in DevOps as well. So, as a glimpse of the last tool, I have to say that Red Hat Code-Ready Workspaces automates applications or microservices to any number of servers. It's one of the best software developing tools, which fully automates deployment of text and binary files from any number of target servers. It takes out many operational risks in the software development process and a lot of other facilities that you can check all of them with more details. Okay, in the end and after checking these advanced tools, I should say that I hope this list of software development tools will help you so that you can equip and prepare your system as much as possible at any level of programming you are in and perform projects with more power and facilities. So please introduce in the comments if you have worked with another tool and find it useful for a developer so that we can add it to our list and it will be useful for each of us in the future. I will also be happy if you write me comments about this video. So until the next video, goodbye.